So before I was saying we can learn more about the squid by telling if it's male or female. And this one looks like a male because it doesn't have any ovaries. It has no eggs inside of its mantle here, which means it's a male. That's probably its stomach. Let's go here. And again, nothing in there. Yeah, and you can see that there is this line. That's the rest of its esophagus. So that was attached to the mouth part, the beak that we opened up earlier. And stomach is quite hard. Let's see if there's anything like visible in here. Kind of, there's like little bones in here. Not sure if you guys can tell, but it's quite hard. And those are just tiny, tiny little bones. So this guy probably ate some kind of fish, maybe an anchovy or a sardine, something small. Here's its heart right there. This little piece at the top of the gills.
So the cool thing about a squid heart is that it actually has 3 different parts to it. And the middle part in the center pumps blood to the entire body, but the 2 little parts on the sides pump blood to each of the gills. So that's something really cool about the squid.
Yeah, definitely cool. Okay, and the last thing that I want to take out of here is the pen. A lot of you guys might not know this, but squid are related to shelled organisms in the phylum Mollusca, and those include things like snails and mussels, any animal like clams that you can think of with a shell and live in the ocean. That's what these guys are related to. But since it's a squid, it doesn't actually have a shell on the outside. Instead, it has a bit of a shell on the inside. And the shell isn't quite like a protective covering. It just gives it structure, and it's called the pen. So kind of funny that a squid has a pen and an ink sac. It kind of is like fate that it's meant to write with. And I heard from someone that long time ago, when people didn't have pens and pencils, they used ink from the ink sac of a squid, and they used the pen to write with. And we're going to get that out here. It's quite big, and I'll show you guys. It's translucent, hard, and it looks quite like a feather pen.
So while you're getting that out, Mercer asked, what's your favorite part of a squid to dissect?
My favorite part? I really like taking out the beak. I think that's the most interesting for me. Because the beak, since it's more of a hard part as well, when things eat it, when things eat squid, it will stay intact in its stomach, and then you can tell what that animal was eating, which was a squid. So here we go. We're making moves here. I'm going to cut through all that. Doesn't need those lungs anymore. And here we go. So there it is. This here is the pen. The ends kind of got broken off, but that's all right because we get the gist of what a pen looks like. Sort of looks like a big feather, right? And we can use the ink sac, which I'll get again. You can open the ink sac, and you can dip your, see that? See how inky that is? Like my scalp gets covered. You can dip your pen right into it, and there it is. There's some ink. Now the rest of the squid that we're not going to dissect is just the eyeballs here. And squid actually have really huge eyes. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but they have 2 dark spheres just on the sides. And they're really good at hunting, so they need those large eyes to be able to see their prey and go after them really quickly. And that's pretty much it. That's the entirety of the squid. If you guys have any other questions, let us know now, or anything that you might want to learn about the squid, just tell us. And Emma, if you have anything to add. Great as well.
I think one more thing about the eyes that's really cool is that squids have 2 eyes on either side of their head, which actually allows them to have 360-degree vision. So they can see all the way around them without even turning their heads. And it allows them to look for prey, but it also allows them to escape from predators that they might have, which is really cool. Lots of questions. How many bones do squids have, Jordan, maybe?
So squids are actually invertebrates, which means that they do not have bones. The closest thing they have to a bone is the pen, which is just here. But otherwise, no bones. And squid are really closely related to octopus, which also don't have any bones. So if you can imagine a squid is sort of like a longer octopus, that would be a good way to think of them.
Someone's asking, is it hard to dissect a squid?
Hard? No, it's not too hard. If you have good instructions and you know what you're looking for, it's pretty straightforward. Sometimes they look different on the inside than what you're expecting, but usually it's all right.
Xavier asks, is it a boy or is it a girl?
This one is a boy squid. He's a male.
Calvin said, are they like snails?
They're a bit like snails in terms of they're in the same phylum. Snails and squid are both in that mollusca phylum, but other than that, they're pretty different.
All right, I'm not seeing any more questions. If anyone has more questions, now is the time to ask.
I think it's interesting that a lot of things in the ocean eat squid. There's a whole grouping of whales with teeth that eat squid. Those are things like orcas and bottlenose whales, and they all mainly eat squid instead of fish.
Mercer asks, have you ever dissected a large squid?
I've never dissected a large squid. This guy's pretty small, but some of the like giant squid can get really, really big, and that's what the sperm whales hunt down in the deep oceans.
Julia asked, why do they have big eyes?
So that they can see their prey really well. They also live in the dark a lot of the time, so the big eyes help them see just a bit further.
Noah and Catherine asked, do they have blood in their hearts?
Yes, they do have blood in their hearts. That's what pumps it all around.
And Amanda and Elisa asked, what kind of part of the squid can you eat?
Normally people eat the tube, so the mantle of the squid. I can show you guys. And they also eat the tentacles and the arms, but some people don't like to eat the tentacles and the arms. So this here is the mantle, and if you cut it along this way, you get nice tubes. And then people also eat the tentacles, which I think are delicious, but some people don't.
Thomas asked, what do squids eat?
Squids eat a lot of little fish. They pretty eat anything that they can fit in their mouths. So if they see something small that they can get to, they'll eat it.
And we have Benjamin said, don't some squids have arms with hooks on them? I read about this.
Yes, they do. A few squids, they don't have hooks on their arms, but they have them on their tentacles. So this here is a tentacle, and the hooks would just be at the end here where it has those little suckers. You guys, can you see those little round discs? That's its suckers. It helps them grab onto prey, and then they would have a hook just on the end there. This guy doesn't. Some species do, some don't, and it depends on their size as well.
All right, lots of questions coming in. Thomas asked, are they in the Halifax Harbor?
Yeah, they probably come into the harbor. Mostly, though, they'll be in deeper water, a bit more offshore.
Claire and Quinn ask, is it hard for a squid to breathe not underwater?
Yeah, they can't breathe outside of the water. They have those gills that processes oxygen from the water. They don't have lungs that can get oxygen from the air like we do.
Calvin asks, can they change color?
Yeah, so I mentioned those chromatophores earlier. If you want to bring the camera down, those dark little spots, they're able to change color so that they can camouflage and change color so that they can attract mates. This guy looks pretty brown though.
Some squids actually also use their pigment cells for communication with each other, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
See if there's any more. Can squids come in different colors?
Yes, they can come in different colors. Some of them are more white and some of them are more gray. This one's really brown, and then again, they can change colors with those chromatophores. Let's take 2 more questions.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is the skin so thick?
That's a good question. I'm not sure exactly why, but if I had to guess, I would say it's just to protect them from any kind of abrasion they may have on like rocks or something, and even to protect them from other predators. If their skin is just a bit more thick, it's harder for the predators to get into their organs.
Can someone fish a squid by a fishing rod?
Yeah, so if you go fishing for squid, I believe it's called jigging, and you use fishing rods for that.
All right, I think that's about it.
All right, great.
Oh wait, sorry, one more. How old can they get?
I'm actually not sure, but I do know that squids live pretty fast and hard lives. So they grow up really fast. They eat a lot. They mate, and then that's pretty much it for them. So I don't think they'll live past really a year.
Yeah. So yeah, Hill is saying 1 to 1.5 years.
Oh, great. Thanks, Hill.
All right, I think that's about it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I definitely learned a lot from opening up this particular squid, and I hope you guys did too. If we want one more look about at the inside there's not really any organs left. I took them all out. But hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for joining us. And if you want to leave the chat, now is the time to do so. There's just a button on the top left corner. Click on that and you'll see the option to leave the chat. And that's it for me. Thanks for joining.
Bye.